It's a 911, it's great, they've always been great, they always will be. We've got access to the new Porsche 911 992.2. It's the latest variant of the new Porsche 911. We're going to head down to Porsche Centre Stockport, meet one of the sales execs, Andy. He's going to talk us through the new car, what's changed, the interior, the exterior, bits we like and don't like, and of course, we're then going to go for a drive. Follow along to see what we think. Morning. Okay. Yeah, good, thanks. Are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Good. Just here to see Andy. Hey? Yeah. How are you?
Not too bad yourself.
Yeah, good.
Oh, I'm telling you, I've got one. Where's it gone? Oh, mate, it's actually been taken out. It's actually been taken out.
It's not here. So we've come down to Porsche Stockport today. Andy's promised us a look at the new 992.2. It's not here, is it?
Yeah, the one you're driving is outside.
Oh yeah, what, in the rain?
Just calling Scott Hardy.
Yeah, it's just... Andy's just come off the phone just finding out where the new 992.2 is, and apparently it's broke already, is that right?
It's got a faulty bonnet latch.
That's it? Brilliant. So, slight correction, this is not the hybrid. This is just the standard Carrera. The hybrid comes in the GTS variant. So let's have a look. New aero style wheels. They're quite cool. We've seen those on the Taycan a little bit recently. There's no active grille on this. I was expecting to see a slightly different front bumper. I mean, it's not surprising, but the changes are obviously very subtle. Full digital display in the centre, so we've lost the analog speedo. And we've also got push button start. We've never had that before in a 911. Obviously this is the entry level, this is just a Carrera, but I'm a little bit like, it doesn't, apart from the wheels, there's nothing that obvious straight away to make me think, oh, this is a brand new model. It has got a brand new bumper. The back here is slightly different, but it's very subtle. I mean, I wasn't expecting, I have seen pictures, so I wasn't expecting it to be drastically different, but in the flesh, if I walk past this, apart from the wheels, it doesn't stand out as a new model 911 to me. We'll see when Andy comes back exactly what the spec is on this and go through a few details on that, but I really like this colour. Andy, I thought you said you were getting us the new 992.2.
This is? What do you mean?
It just looks the same as the previous generation.
Oh, come on, take a sit round the back. Come on, take a... I think it looks a bit more square on the back here.
It's pretty marginal.
It's a big rear light.
That is a large rear light. The exhaust pipes at the back are slightly closer together.
Correct.
I'm not... Whoa,
on the GTS, they're measuring the tyres.
Jesus.
On the GTS, it goes kind of like a GT3 Touring.
Yeah, a little bit closer.
Centre exits.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it looks a lot more aggressive than the current shape one.
If I was to walk past this and it didn't have these new wheels on it,
you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't have looked twice at it.
Even with the
yeah, I mean, that's quite, you've got to be taking quite a lot of notice. I mean, I didn't expect the 911 to change much. It's a classic design, obviously.
Don't fix it if it ain't broken.
It's definitely not broken, but I was also a little bit like, how come this one's not got the active vent at the front?
Because it's not the GTS.
Right, so that's just on the GTS model.
That's just on the GTS, yeah.
And they've still not put the any grills in here, which is, I have had a couple of customers find that
for the radiators
frustrating, because your stone can go through there and it can be quite an expensive day out. That
got to be very, very unlucky though for that to happen.
Yeah, well, I don't know actually. Stones can pop through there fairly regularly. Also, why is this number plate pin too big?
No comment.
That looks. What's happened here? That's not right. I would not be happy with that.
No, that's right. That is right.
Well, why is there a massive wedge of plastic sticking out the top of it?
I mean, if it's me, I won't get a number plate fitted anyway, because
Pardon?
I won't get a number plate fitted if it's
You have to have a number plate, mate.
Yeah, sticker number plate.
Oh, a sticker?
You know about dodgy sticker number plates, don't you, Will?
I would always have whatever the DVLA and the government recommend as a way to fit your number plate. The illuminated door sills are nice.
Yeah.
That's obviously nothing new. Burmeister sound system, you get that on the last one. Amazing sound system.
Yeah.
Definitely an option I'd be selecting if I could afford it.
New colour as well.
That I was just saying before, actually, the colour's absolutely stunning. What's that called?
Sort of vanadium grey.
Vanadium.
Vanadium.
It's like, I was trying to describe it before. It's like a metallic bluey grey.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah. It's really nice when it's dry and not covered in rain as well. It looks even better.
I mean, these wheels I mentioned before, these are kind of like your aero style wheels now, aren't they? You've seen them come out on the Taycan initially? Yeah,
they were a little bit more aggressive on the Taycan. They've got more of a fin. There's one in the showroom, I think, where it's like kind of like the blades see on the Taycan there, but they're all kind of blocked off. they're coming out with some interesting wheel designs, I think.
I mean, they're not a bad looking wheel, but I would definitely say they look like the entry level wheel.
Yes, yeah, which these are not, but I'd agree.
They're not, they're not great.
They do look.
Are they?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to slate the car or anything.
That's the one that we had in the showroom.
Oh, wow.
Same wheels.
So that's what they're your winter wheels, are they?
Yeah, winter wheel and tyre set. I've just been put on that one.
Have they? I imagine the front boot and everything's all the same.
Yeah, the front, like nothing to see under there.
Come round, this is an exciting image of the engine bay. And we've got 2 fans.
Yeah, and you can top up your coolant and your engine oil. You want to do some ASMR stuff, pull that back up, pull it back up. For some reason on PDI, these never get peeled off.
Oh!
If you want to do the on as well.
Oh! Ooh. Oh, satisfying. The rear plinth, is that... no, that one, they actually got this one so it does fit.
Just a plate on that. So it comes with like, you know, your normal... it comes with like a raised square with the holes to fit.
Oh, right,
yeah, that goes wrong.
Is that the same as the previous generation?
Yeah.
Nothing's changed
there,
nothing's
changed there.
Panoramic roof?
Panoramic roof is a must-have on a 911. Yeah, must-have. Unless, of course, you have the carbon roof on a lightweight design package, GT Silver, Manuel, GTS.
You hear this? Pan roof is a must-have, although I did spec a 911 with Andy a couple of years ago, and it didn't come with one, so you must have...
No, you had the carbon roof on it.
Yeah, I had a carbon roof, yeah. No pan roof.
That's why I said, and it's on the mic, we recorded, unless
you have a carbon roof.
Yeah, unless it's a lightweight design package. New headlights?
New headlights, they look identical.
Oh, they're different.
No. They're just a headlight, there's nothing different there.
They're massively different.
Next you're going to tell me that the wing mirrors are different, aren't you?
They're more aerodynamic.
Yeah, I could tell that by looking at it.
Faster mirrors.
Should we have a look inside then?
Yeah.
You're going to jump in, Andy? Jump in the other side? Oh. Inside, it all looks very familiar to me.
Yeah.
Well, as we've said before, big difference, it's got a push button start.
Massive difference.
Well, a little difference, isn't it? Let's face it. Burmeister looks the same.
Yeah.
It's really nice, Burmeister. Not just the sound, but it does finish off the interior nicely, that, doesn't it?
I'd agree with you on that, yeah.
Porsche crest headrest, that's nice.
Another must-have.
Another must-have. Is this a sports steering wheel, do you know, or is that just standard one?
That is the sports steering wheel.
It?
If it's got the chrono, it's the sports
steering wheel. Oh, is it?
Wheel.
We've got the little heated steering wheel button there.
Yeah,
that is very sneaky.
It's always been the way, though, hasn't it?
It's always been the way. I like that.
What I'm really surprised about is they've kept that there. So Cayennes, Taycans, new electric Macan are all up here.
Right, yeah.
So
new electric Macan, that's coming very soon, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll see 2 of them soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're under a lot of pressure to get them delivered.
I am indeed.
Yeah.
I am indeed. I'm passing that pressure on to Carrie. In the Cayenne, you've got your screen there. Taycan, you've got the screen there. So obviously 911, it's all about the driver focused. So I think that might be the reason for keeping it there. Obviously, you've got your great touchscreen there. Heated
seats, obviously standard.
Yeah.
Cooled seats, I'm guessing they're
That's
an option.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, the big difference in here is the full digital cockpit, which is going to be a little bit controversial because 911, since day one, I've had the rev counter in the centre, analog rev counter.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
I'm surprised they've done away with it. I'm surprised they've done away with that. I'm surprised they've done away with the key. So on all the Porsche training I've done, it's massive on heritage. So they're always going on about staying true to their heritage. So the reason for leaving the key in was the Le Mans races, start on the pit wall, run, open the door, get in, twist the key and go.
Yeah.
That's the reason they've had it for all these years. So the reason for getting rid of it now, I don't know. Unless Le Mans kind of hit the 21st century and they're all on start buttons now. I don't know. But you can.
You can put the rev counter in the centre, but it's a digital rev counter.
Yeah, so you can have that more sporty feel with that.
I mean, have you driven the new hybrid one yet?
Not yet.
No. I'd be interested to see if it still feels as engaging.
I think it will.
Do you?
Yeah, so with the new hybrid, you're on the same power as the previous generation now turbo. So what's that, 550? So you've got a lot of brake horsepower there for a GTS. So I'm hoping they're saving a lot in the tank for turbo S power.
The only thing that puts me off some of the hybrid stuff, they become heavier, everything becomes a little bit more robotic and electronically controlled. Yeah. It just feels like we're moving more and more away from an analog driving car into, let's face it, it's a coupe Taycan. Well, it's not quite, is it?
Respectfully
But-
disagree. No, so with the hybrid, it's not about oh, I can get 50 miles of electric. So they've put
Will you be able to drive it fully electric?
no.
Right.
So it's a battery on the gearbox. So on the PDK gearbox, there's actually a battery on that, and not on the turbos, but just before the turbos to help spool them up quicker.
Yeah.
Weight, I can't
Instant power,
remember.
basically.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's 45 or 52 kilograms.
I heard 50 kilograms.
So 50 kilograms added, but what they have done, and they definitely don't weigh 52 kilograms, they take the rear seats out. So it's a non-cost option to add the seats back in.
The rear seats in a 911 GTS?
Correct.
What?
They come without the seats.
That's mental.
Come without the back seats. They come with the front seats, obviously.
My advice, anyone that's specking a new 992.2 GTS, put your rear seats in. That is the whole benefit of a 911. You can take the kids to school in it.
No cost option as well.
Yeah, put your rear seats in. I've done it before. I spec the
With the buckets.
with the buckets,
Yeah.
lightweight, and no rear seats. And within a week or two, it's pretty lonely because you can't go anywhere in the car.
You've
with
not got
your
any
family.
friends anyway, so
Well,
yeah, literally everything's the same.
Centre console saying, oh, wireless charging port. I don't
Wireless
think
charging
they had them before, did they?
Not on the 911, no. Might not do it because oh, there we go.
Yes, come on. That's nice touch.
Bit of space.
This
there.
is all the same.
See, yeah.
Everything feels pretty high quality. That's what you
Always
expect
does.
with Porsche.
Yeah.
It always
Yeah.
does feel mint.
Yeah.
One thing, hopefully a bit like the lever to move the seats forward. One
Yeah.
thing I noticed on the last generation 992
Yeah.
was the door cars rattled a lot. They had some issues with
Yeah.
the fixings that held the door card in. Do you remember?
Yeah.
How many cars did you have come back with a rattly door?
Not so much come back, but we had comments, and it was almost like it's a characteristic of the car. So
My God.
but it's weird
How
because
much
usually it was like the passenger.
Yeah.
It's the passenger side, or like one of the rears. They seem to be random, whichever one it was, but it was always the front passenger.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually an easy fix. I got mine at a local
Stick
garage.
tape.
Well, just whip the door card off. You can locate it and tape it up, yeah. But they were renowned for that. It'd be interesting to see if that's something that's been resolved. Must just been
I'm going to say yes.
yeah, I'd like to think so. Poor quality clips.
Yes.
But other than that, everything feels beautiful.
That's what's great about Porsche. You jump in any of them and you feel like you're at home. You
Yeah.
know how it all works.
Ooh, that sounds nice. I tell you, one of the benefits of it not being a hybrid is every time you start the car, the engine comes on. I do like that. So my overall impression is that it feels very much like the Generation 1 911, which is no bad thing because that is a fantastic car anyway. Everything feels very familiar. Nothing jumps out and goes, oh, that's unique, or that's changed. It all feels very similar. It's a little bit quicker. I mean, I'd like to have something really interesting to say about the car. The overall verdict is it's a 911. It's great. They've always been great. They always will be. You're not going to change anything too drastically because there's no need to. This is the entry level, so this is just your entry bog standard, as it were, Carrera. It still feels quick. It's definitely not sluggish. There's definitely a bit more grunt to that exhaust. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera. I think I'm right in saying the gearbox, PDK gearbox, is essentially the same as what was in the first generation 992. There's absolutely no need to change anything there. It's one of the fastest gearboxes in any car, and it's lightning quick and smooth. I think we'll just keep it in wet actually today because we are in sunny Cheshire. It feels very, very similar to the first generation 992, and on that note, if you look at the prices now of 911s, if you look at 2019 onwards, you can pick up, for incomparable to this new .2, there's a huge saving, probably 50-60 grand less. And as always, these will sell incredibly well. New 911 always does, but I would say the opportunity to pick up a nice Generation 1, now is the time, really. A little bit of driver intervention I felt there on the steering wheel. It must have lane keep assist or something, pushing me into the correct position on the lane. However, I wanted to move lane, so it was a little bit irritating. On the normal, well actually we're in wet mode now, the throttle response does actually feel quite laggy. But that can be combated just by putting the car into sport. So we'll drive it around in sport for a little bit now. In terms of driving 911s, most of the time I've spent in the 992 is in a GTS, so that is not really comparing apples with apples, comparing a standard Carrera with a GTS. But I do feel like in normal driving mode, the throttle response is not quite as crisp as I'd like it to be, I don't think. That would annoy me a little bit. I think I'd find myself putting it into sport quite regularly. And not because I want to go quicker, I just want more of an instant response. I think now people have started driving a lot of electric cars and hybrid cars. Me personally, I expect it instantly there. Years ago, I think people accepted you have to put the accelerator down and then the power would slowly come in. Nowadays, I put my foot on the accelerator and I expect instant power. Extremely familiar. This has changed slightly in here, so the design on this panel, I was actually thought that was going to be a haptic touch for a second, but that literally doesn't do anything. On the previous generation, that was just flat. All these buttons are the same, these are the same, as Andy calls it, the noisy button is still there. Steering wheel, that looks identical to me, to the previous model. Heated steering wheel still in the classic place. The biggest change on the interior is the fact that it's got a push button start, I think. Well, no, I take that back. The biggest change is the fact it's got a digital rev counter in the centre. It's got a push button start. Other than that, it's basically the same thing. As with every 911, it feels absolutely planted. I was saying to the guys at the showroom before, a lot of the time four-wheel drive is not needed in the 911. There's that much grip. The technology in terms of the electronic stability, for the driving which we've done for the last 20 minutes, I wouldn't have been able to tell whether this was two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. It's that good nowadays. This is the two-wheel drive variant, and I'm not going to do it because we haven't really got much space on the road, but I can guarantee I could plant all the way through the gears from first gear and it won't lose any traction in the wet. Not with the Carrera especially, obviously there's a bit less power. Maybe if it was a GTS then you might start to slip a little bit at the back, but on the entry-level model I don't think there's any need, unless you want to use it for a lot of winter driving where you might have a lot of snow and ice and things. I don't think the four-wheel drive is actually necessary. One of the biggest things was the active grills on the front. The entry-level model doesn't have that. If I was to order one, that would probably push me even further into going straight for an S as opposed to just the entry-level model. I don't know, I'd have to see them side by side to see aesthetically what the difference really is. We've just had the information come through from Porsche, the list price and all the spec, and I was absolutely flabbergasted, and I don't say that word very often, at the price. 134 grand for a two-wheel drive Carrera. It's got some spec on it. Let's have a look at the spec. So pan roof, a few bits and bobs, courtesy lights, sport chrono, sports exhaust, power steering plus. There's nothing crazy on there apart from Burmeister. Burmeister's quite a big option, but at that price we've just sold a 992 Turbo S on a 20 plate. I think it was about 10,000 miles at 140 grand. So I mean, that just seems bonkers. It wasn't that long ago you could pick up a 992 Carrera for less than 90 grand. So there's been a serious price hike there. Guys, I hope you enjoyed our review of the Dot 2. We've got some absolutely class cars coming in soon, so stay tuned, please like and subscribe.